next takeaway idea is changing trends and unchanging principles, and this is relevant to what you've got to do with the internet, and it's also relevant. This one in here is relevant to your business in whatever you're doing. Let me show you. So the most common mistakes businesses make is that it's not the product or service you sell, but it's a given that they have to be quality. That's a given. You can't sell rubbish, you're not going to survive with it. So, but that's not what I mean on it. You've got to have good products and services, but it's not where it's really at. Most people think, do a good job, provide a good service, and the people will come. That used to happen, but it doesn't happen anymore. That is changing the way people do business. So once upon a time, if we go back a generation, you know, you put your sign out the front, you might have put an ad in the paper. But even if you if you go back 2 generations, you didn't even put an ad in the paper. You just put your shingle out the front, and people just turned up, and you built your business. That don't happen anymore. You've got to work on your business, not in your business, and that's the hardest one for every one of us to do, but it's a very important one. You should be taking a breath at least once a week or going away and just chilling out and just thinking about or working on your business, not in it. And then think of your business as a sales and marketing company that happens to sell goods and services. Easy to say, but harder to do. But that's really what you've got to do. I mean, for me, it just comes natural because that's what I gravitate to. And the money is in the marketing. And, you know, I remember at a conference, one of the conferences I went to in 2011, the guy that was there kept saying, the money is in the marketing. I'm going, yeah, I know that. The money is in the marketing. Yeah, I know that. But most of the room did not realise that they were business owners. They did not realise the money was in the marketing. And in the end, he was quite blunt. He said, if you don't believe that, well, get over it, because the money is in the marketing. And that's where it is. And this is the biggie. This is the giant in the room now, is the internet. I can't stress this enough. If you want to make lots of money in your business, this is where it's at. And it doesn't matter what business it is. Okay, 7 skills you must master for online success. Clearly identify your market and your niche. A no-brainer offer to remove the risk. One of the offers that we have was when we do a complete turnkey package for you know, we're doing the whole lot, we have a guarantee with the business owner that if they can't double their outlay with us, if they can't double that in 12 months in gross profit, we will give them their money back. Now, there's conditions with that, and you've got to do the same thing with that. You have to supply us the material. If you don't do the steps, how can we help a business or help them double their business if they don't give us the material to work with? So there's strategies they've got to do it. But it's creating a no-brainer offer that it becomes there. Well, that's today. It's a no-brainer offer. It's not very big outlay anyway at the $77, but if you feel that you never got one idea out of today, I'll give you a complete refund. That's a no-brainer offer. You look at it and think, what's a no-brainer? You've got to do that in your own businesses. Somehow or other, create no-brain offers that are tight, but they're still a genuine one. If they follow the steps that you're saying, you know, or the service you're saying, if they don't get the results, there's a money back or there's a whatever sort of guarantee on it. Great content to match your message to the market. Create a great product, that goes without saying. And use the latest marketing tactics. We struggle to keep up with what's happening online, so I don't know how anyone that's trying to run a business and then tries to do it as well. You can't. That's why we provide what we provide. And value add, don't discount. And this is the big one. Value add, don't discount. Let's just use an example. If you discount, it's a straight off the bottom line profit when you discount. But if you value add by, you know, well, if I use the motel in Bairnsdale, they get a complimentary breakfast as part of it. You know, and another way is complimentary Wi-Fi. So, you know, you can value add by those things. In fact, the 2 important things, if you think about this and that's why this is a good thing about what we do, is we have weekly interviews with our sales manager and the business owner, but also a monthly sit down where I'll sit down with the business owner and see what's happening. So what was happening with the motel is we were going okay, but it wasn't outstanding. So as we talked more, understood that they really wanted to really promote the corporate, and it wasn't clearly identified for a start. So we changed and I'll show you where we did this on the net, but the headline stuff in Google, we changed it to corporate budget priced motel. That was the first part. So what's that tell you? So now just imagine the person that's the buyer. The person that buys typically not the sales rep on the road. It's someone in the company that's doing the booking. So they're searching in Google and they're looking. So they're looking. So the concerns for they don't want the price to be out of control, because if they leave it to the rep, he's just going to book anything. He doesn't care because he's going to get his money. There's a bottom line they got to look after. So we put in the heading, corporate budget price motel. Complimentary breakfast. They didn't want to do free Wi-Fi, so we just put Wi-Fi there. So as corporate budget price motel, complimentary breakfast, Wi-Fi, something Wi-Fi, I forget how we put that in there. And the moment we changed that, the figures went like that. Just straight through the roof. Because we answered their concerns, the primary concerns right up there to get them to click in. And then we had all the other ones, navigate through the website, look at all the rooms, check them all out, see the reviews there to reinforce it the whole lot. So it was backing it up. Their sales went through the roof. That's why they had a 100% increase. So also they value added the complimentary breakfast. So you can value add, but if you discount it, it's straight off the bottom line. Because the breakfast, if you discount it $20, which is what most people would want you to do, that's $20 straight off the bottom line. But a buffet breakfast doesn't cost $20. It's just a few dollars. And it's, help yourself, so there's no real cost in that. So see the difference between discounting, but we're conditioned because we see the Harvey Normans and everybody else do that, and we're all like sheep and we just follow that path down. It's not the way to go. Don't try and do it. You can't compete with those guys. Don't even try. Margins are too small. Okay, so measure and fine tune, and that's what I talked about there with it. We were measuring and we were seeing that it wasn't quite working right, so we changed the message and then the results kicked in. And I'm going to show you how to measure and fine tune on how you do it with the internet and your website. Okay, what's the next one? So some unchanging fundamentals: pain to pleasure, the love, greed, guilt, fear, pride are the primary drivers. You can't get away from them. And I'm going to unpack that a bit more shortly. Find, build a highly valued product that addresses your buyer's needs. Find those that are looking for your product and make them a no-brainer offer that's 10 times the value, which is a bit scary, but if it's not scary, it won't work. I'll give you an example of which one guy did. It's not my business, but it was a story that I heard how important this is and these things here. There's an engine reconditioning company in Melbourne, and this engine reconditioning company, when GST, sorry, not in engine reconditioning, the head, the bit on the top of the motor, is the head. They were reconditioning the heads. When GST came in, I don't understand the industry, but it was enough that the difference of the cost affected it, that it was cheaper to just go and buy a new one than reconditioning. I forget how it actually worked. Doesn't really matter. The bottom line is, all of a sudden, their business was plummeting and going overnight. So a marketing guru that came in, who's a very, very clever guy, came into their business and he sat down and he analysed their business and he said, who's your market? And it's the mechanics and everything else. So then and these guys were close to hitting the wall. They were almost bankrupt. And so he came in and they had to find the money for his services or whatever. Then he created a no-brainer offer and a loyalty program, and what it meant, I think it was every 5th or every 10th head that a mechanic bought, they got for free. Right? So they give it away. So instead of discounting, they give it away because the cost would have been dramatically different. And then they amortise the cost either over the 5 reconditioned heads or over the 10, whatever the figure was. Those guys now They went from right on the edge of going bankrupt to those guys' businesses totally transformed. They're the market leader in Australia and they're now expanding into America. And what did their customers do? The mechanics, they're trading hours to dollars, hard to make an income. They knew that every fifth or 10th, and I'm pretty sure it was every fifth one, they got for free. Like it's probably a $1,200 item or something to them. They got that free, so all of a sudden they just added to their bottom line. So it was like a massive benefit to them. So that no-brainer offer was fantastic for them. So it's just being clever on how you do those. You've got to stand out from the crowd and not be another me too. But you've got to have a no-brainer offer that really makes your pucker go, if it's not like that and just about chokes you, it's not a no-brainer offer. Okay, so and then the other thing is upsell them into more products. So the changing trends for 2014. There's diverse marketing channels, and they're YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Amazon and iTunes, and the list grows every day. So no longer can you have it where you just think, well, I'll build a website, it just ain't going to fly. The market's changing on you. You use a visitor higher expectations. They're wanting video, they want mobile and tablet friendly responsive sites and clean graphics and easy to navigate, and I'll show you some of those little hints and tips shortly. Okay, this is the other one that's a very, very important one, is that Google wants good content relevant to the user. So you've got it. This is what I'm talking about with matching the message. And if you look in Google now, you know how when you're typing in Google, if you notice up the top as you're typing whatever your search is, it's popping down things. Well, what's happened, and a good clue for you, as they're popping up, that's what the predictive behaviour, artificial intelligence from Google, and they're drawing that off what people like you are typing in. So as you start typing that in, that order that they are sitting there gives you a clue to what people are actually typing in relevant to that. So it's not an accident. It's a great indicator for you to have. Oh, look what people are actually typing in. Gee, lots of people are typing this stuff in. So that's what they mean on that. Okay, yes, and I'm going to show you how to do that. The single page, one page now, no longer flies. Google wants a deep, multi-page authority